y'all, it's Maddie from the Itty Bitty Homestead Committee. I just wanted to hop on here and wish y'all a happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate it. If you don't, I hope you are having a wonderful day today. Because it's a holiday, I don't really have anything prepared, but I did bring over a couple of videos for you to watch on my TikTok where we're talking about looking at specializing in certain colors in your lines and what to think about before getting into certain colors as well. So here's that video for you, and thank y'all all for stopping by even though it's Thanksgiving.
Understand, before we talk anything color-wise, you need to build your barn before you paint it. Structure of your rabbit and type are going to be the most important things to look at. Secondary in mini Rex and any Rex breed is going to be fur. You gotta really be careful on your fur types. And then we can start looking at color once we have those two things down. Now, if you are curious about how color genetic works and how colors work together and what's best to breed together, I would look at the ABCs of Color Genetics. It's a wonderful book. And there are various Facebook groups for rabbit color genetics. I'm a part of like 3. Some are specifically for mini Rex and Rex, while others are just rabbits in general. They're amazing groups to learn from. The next thing you want to look for when it comes to color and breeding your rabbits, especially if you are new to rabbit breeding or the breed in general, is learning which colors are the standard and which colors are newer to the standard. A color that's been around forever is going to be easier to work with than one that is new to the standard. So for instance, my casters, my blacks, my broken blacks, it is a tried and true color that has been used in mini Rex forever. My lynx, my blue-eyed whites, they are a more rare color that isn't worked with as often, which means they are rangy, their fur is not there, and they are a larger project. There's a lot more failure for me that goes into breeding lynx and blue-eyed whites than breeding my casters and my blacks. So decide what kind of project that you want to work on and how hard you want to work on it. Normally, the more diluted you get, the harder those colors are to work with. Unless, of course, you're crazy and you're working with the Harlequin breed, and then you're just nuts. Those patterns are beautiful, don't get me wrong, but those colors are such a challenge to get perfect. Finally, look at what colors work well together. For instance, I would be okay breeding my casters into my blue-eyed whites, but I would never breed anything chocolate-based into my blue-eyed whites. Black pretty much works with anything, but in general, I completely avoid shaded colors in my mini Rex if I can. And then another question, do you want to work with broken lines or do you want to completely avoid it? When we get really deep into the sauce when it comes to color patterns, do you want to focus on agouti? Do you want to focus on tan patterns, such as otter? Do you just want to deal with self-based rabbits? And that's just on the A lotus. We're not even getting into the other lotuses. Dive into your research and figure out what kind of colors you want to work with.
So this was a comment left on my video about breeding for color, and I absolutely love this comment. So I wanted to talk more about it. So keeping in mind that color is never our main goal. Especially when we're first starting out, we want to build the best shaped rabbits that we can. We want to follow SOP for type, for both body and fur, and then we move on for color. And then the more consistent you are with your lines, the more likely you are to get the colors you want. In comes this comment. When you first start out, you might just need to buy a rabbit that carries the color you want. Let's use my silver foxes as an example. Chocolate is a newly accepted color into the SOP. And although it's been around a while, it hasn't been perfected like black has been. Out in my barn, I have quite a few chocolate carriers, Nina being one of them. The goal is to take Nina and breed her to my chocolate carrying buck to get chocolate babies. Because I want chocolate silver fox, but I didn't find stock that was chocolate in color that had the best body type. So what I did was I found a black rabbit that back in her pedigree had chocolate in it. And the big kicker is, in order to know you have a carrier before you breed them, one of the parents has to be a chocolate. Her dad's a chocolate, therefore Nina is a carrier of chocolate. So what I'll do in order to get a chocolate, I'll breed my 2 chocolate carriers together. Hopefully that first litter, they get a buck or a doe that is a chocolate. And what I'll do is I'll breed that chocolate back to my black lines that carry chocolate to get the better body type out of my black lines and to get the color of chocolate. And the idea is that you continue to do that move down the line till you get a better type and you're producing chocolates with that good body type that you would normally see in the more popular color. And then what you start doing is you start removing the blacks from your program. So you start removing the more dominant color from your program, only keeping the recessive color in your program. So you have that nice barn you built, and now you're painting it. And down the line, if and when you need a crossbreeding, you might need to do that again. You might need to get a very well-typed dominant base color that has a recessive carrying in the lines, and sometimes you can't even find a good recessive carrier, but once you have the colors in your barn, you're good to go. You just repeat the process over. Either way, this comment was just a brilliant point, and I love it. To the person who was asking about colors in their breeding program, good luck. And I don't think you mentioned what color you were looking for. If you're telling us what color you want to specialize in, we can help you in your program choose the best carriers or what to avoid. That's all I have for you guys. And again, it's so important to build your barn before you paint it and to think about those kind of things before you start specializing in color, while also keeping in mind you can always get carriers of rarer colors that you want to improve upon later down the line. But anyway, I will see y'all in the next one. Thank y'all again. Bye.